Hancock Shaker Village is in its 60th anniversary year, a time that would usually be punctuated by gala fundraisers and other events. But the coronavirus pandemic has meant massive shifts to the plans of many cultural institutions like HSV in the Berkshires and beyond. One way that the village is trying to make up fundraising ground is through video chats with baby animals. Carrie Saldo spoke with President and CEO Jennifer Trainer Thompson about that and more.
Right now, the village is closed, but it's very much alive within the fences. We made the decision to plant our gardens. We have over 5 acres that supply our local food pantries, and also we have our active CSA, our community supported agriculture. And in the barn, we have a lot of baby animals being born. So it's quite loud and actually joyous. So it's a nice respite from everything else that's happening in the world.
Yeah, and you're offering a little bit of those signs of life to the wider world in a couple of different ways. There's a free event that happens once a week for people. And it occurred to me that also with so many parents teaching from home, have you heard that they're using that opportunity as a teaching moment or maybe a break for parents as they let the kids learn about the animals there at the village?
We're seeing a pretty wide audience at our Wednesday live streams, and we focus on a different kind of animal each week. This week was poultry. And then we do these Zoom classes. And what's fascinating to me is that we're getting a lot of different school groups. So the farm staff really misses not being able to interact with the public. And for many kids, it's their only farm experience. For example, last week we had 60 third graders on a call. And yesterday I had 25 wide-eyed kindergartners seeing our baby lambs and goats. So I think everybody has a little bit of Zoom fatigue right now, but Zooming with the animals is pretty darn fun.
Yeah, I bet that the videos that the longtime farm manager there, Bill Mangiardi, puts out, where he's so knowledgeable. It is such a treat to listen to him talk about the animals and the various different types of animals. You mentioned the CSA that you have there, heritage seeds. So you're not only planting, currently here, but you're also perpetuating bits of the past by sharing these seeds and this food with the public. Can you talk about, though, the animal portion of that? Like, what's special and unique about the animals there at the village?
Yeah, well, and I would just say about the seeds, the Shakers settled here in 1784. That was, the time that slavery was abolished in Massachusetts and the Treaty of Paris was signed. So this land has, been tilled for over 200 years. And so and the Shakers were the first to package seeds in the United States. So to continue that tradition is very meaningful to us. But in the barn, we also have the animals that the Shakers had. They were dairy farmers. We have a lot of cattle. We also have merino sheep, which are considered a heritage breed now because they have so many folds that they are actually hard to shear, but they yield a lot of wool per animal. So the Shakers bred them, and as we show people these lovely, cute little baby animals, we also talk about what it's like to farm and what these animals were to the Shakers and what they are to us today. Billy told me, every week I learn something as I film him, and he told me last week that he got his first lamb when he was 7 years old. And he's a third generation farmer in Pittsfield, and he started tending livestock at age 7.
It's amazing. And the number of baby animals that he's helped be born, who, he described how one mama was really struggling, and he's there. He's watching over all of those animals and helping them out.
Yeah, and I must say, during the first week that we did the Zoom, we're in the middle of a session with these 60 third graders, and he looks at me and says out of the side of his mouth, "That goat's going to deliver." And I looked down, and a hoof was coming out. And not only was she about to deliver, it was a breech birth. And one hoof came out and the other leg was stuck. And so while I'm filming, he reached in, he turned around the leg. He helped this animal deliver in under 5 minutes. I think I was as shocked as everybody else was, but boy, it was a fabulous lesson. I still remember at age 8 going to the Indianapolis State Fair and seeing a calf stand up wobbly just minutes after she'd been born. But I'd never seen a birth myself, and it was pretty thrilling.
I bet you there were a lot of fantastic stories at dinner tables that night among those little kids who saw that live birth happening. The Zoom of these baby animals, the experience of sharing it, it's also a fundraiser, a way to raise money here during the 60th anniversary year for the village. How has that been received, and how are you doing overall financially during this time?
Well, it's a real challenge to be a museum director right now. Baby Animals is a very important festival for us. It draws about 14,000 visitors, and as long as we can open sometime in June, they'll still be babies, not teenagers. The piglets haven't even been born yet, but it's tough. I must say that I'm a 10th generation Yankee, and we went into this pandemic, I think, in pretty good shape. We have a minuscule endowment, but we had no debt and we had no mortgage, and we are a lean operation. So, and I made very painful decisions pretty early on to trim as much as we possibly could. So, and then we were just looking for creative revenue streams, and somebody had suggested Zooming with the animals, and they ended up being our baby goats ended up attending the Progressive Democratic Caucus at the State House with 55 legislators. We surprised them with our baby animals. So it's been a nice little revenue stream in a time when we're closed. So I feel very grateful.
How about the day-to-day there at the farm? As you say, it's very active. Not only are your fields planted, but all of these baby animals are being born. They have to be cared for. Sometimes the mamas don't take to the babies right away. I've seen videos of Billy helping the babies and the mamas along. You need to have people caring for these animals in that space. How are you assuring social distancing while also taking care of the needs of these animals?
That's a really good question. And Billy actually takes some of the babies home. Because, as you say, if the mother rejects them, he has to help them create that bond, but he also has to protect them until they do. We have a very lean staff. We have one livestock manager and Billy, and our groundskeeper who basically patrol the barn. And people take different shifts. So at any one given time, there's one person in there. In fact, I came in on Sunday morning and we were surprised by this baby goat, and I discovered it, moments after it had been born. I was the only one there, so of course I called somebody else because I had no clue. And similar with our gardens, we have one gardener and she has 2 assistants, and I saw them out there yesterday, and they were 20 yards apart. So we're very respectful of that. And most of the staff is working from home.